Buckle up, WWE faithful. Tonight's rundown is stacked. From John Cena promising a game-changing surprise to Liv Morgan's crushing injury update, from Stone Cold hinting at one last stunner to Zelina Vega calling out Nia Jax, Punk-Rollins FanFest Showdown, every corner of the roster is buzzing. Let's cut the chatter and dive straight into the mayhem. Cena promises something special. What if John Cena just telegraphed the biggest curveball of the entire summer and almost nobody caught the hint? Fresh off a ruthless SmackDown where the 17-time champion blasted CM Punk with the world title, then drove him through a table, Cena proved the belt is not merely gold, it is ammunition. Yet that riotous closing shot was only the trailer. At Fanatics Fest in New York City the next day, he cracked a sly grin and told a packed crowd that the upcoming SmackDown Plus Night of Champions are going to be incredible because he and Punk are cooking up something special. No direct spoilers, just a chef bragging about the heat in his kitchen, and every smart fan knows that when Cena starts talking recipes, someone is getting burned. The timing is delicious. Night of Champions emanates from Saudi Arabia, the very stage where Cena completed his shocking heel turn at Elimination Chamber, so the champ has motive, opportunity, and a worldwide spotlight to crank his villainy to 11. Backstage whispers claim the creative is scrambling to layer extra stunts, run-ins, stipulations, maybe even a retirement ultimatum, so every camera cut on Friday will be loaded with clues. Social media is already ablaze, hailing Cena's SmackDown pipe bomb homage as his sharpest mic work since 2002, and the rating spike tells the same tale. Controversy sells. Meanwhile, Punk is nursing bruised ribs and a wounded ego, promising vengeance but refusing interviews, which only fuels speculation that the straight-edge superstar has an ambush of his own tucked under that hoodie. Mark your calendars, because when Cena says the oven is preheating, the main course usually arrives scorched black and smelling like history in the making. Keep eyes locked, mute buttons ready, and buckle up. The countdown to chaos is ticking louder every second. WWE's sudden doubt in Jey Uso World Wrestling Entertainment appeared to have very little faith in Jey Uso from the very moment he captured the World Heavyweight Championship. Fresh headlines about Bill Goldberg challenging Gunther for that same title now all but confirm the whispers surrounding Jey's fragile reign. Industry insiders explained that management never scripted Uso's victory to last beyond a fleeting celebration. The belt was always earmarked for a blockbuster Goldberg versus Gunther collision. Placing a championship at the center of that colossal showdown would magnify the spectacle, ensuring it would dominate every marquee and social media timeline. According to the Wrestling Observer, when creative first chose to hand the gold to Jey, the finish line was simultaneously circled in red ink. The plan called for a short, emotional reign that would end precisely where it began, beneath Gunther's iron grip. Even as Jey advanced to the King of the Ring semifinals, hopeful fans speculated that a triumphant tournament win at Night of Champions could catapult him back into the title picture at SummerSlam. Yet the more accurate narrative is far simpler. WrestleMania needed a feel-good moment, so Jey played the hero, only to step aside once that confetti settled. The script never changed, only the calendar pages did. Liv Morgan faces the worst-case scenario. Fresh reports paint a grim picture for supporters of Liv Morgan. Respected outlet Pro Wrestling Insider has confirmed through multiple WWE contacts that Morgan's separated shoulder will, without question, require surgery. Medical professionals inside the company consider this outcome the absolute worst-case scenario because it guarantees an extended absence from weekly programming. The injury suffered during Monday's match on Raw has forced WWE to place Morgan on the sidelines for the foreseeable future. Morgan had been scheduled to make an appearance at Fanatics Fest in New York City this weekend, but those plans have already been canceled. Complementing Pro Wrestling Insider's findings, Bodyslam.net echoes the same prognosis and estimates that Morgan could miss approximately 6 months of in-ring action. If that timetable proves accurate, her layoff will span half a year and eternity in WWE's ever-shifting landscape. Ripple effects across the women's division. Behind the curtain, WWE's creative team has reportedly torn up the penciled-in Evolution Supercard that would have showcased several marquee women's matches. A 6-month recovery window means the Raw women's roster will require a large-scale reset, with new storylines and substitute rivalries filling the void left by Morgan's sudden departure. Expect fresh faces to receive television time, unexpected alliances to form, and championship pictures to be reshuffled, particularly on the Raw brand, which was counting on Morgan's momentum for upcoming pay-per-view cycles. Stephanie McMahon's truth bomb about Vince. Meanwhile, Stephanie McMahon has cast an unflinching spotlight on her formidable father, Vince McMahon. Sitting down with WWE President Nick Khan on the What's Your Story podcast, the so-called billion-dollar princess dissected what truly drives the company's architect. His entire mindset is that survival equals victory, she explained, adding that for her father, lasting one more day in the fight is identical to winning the war. If all he needs to do is survive to win, then how can you ever truly defeat him? Nick Khan echoed that sentiment, crediting Vince for building an entertainment empire from scratch. Quoting Paul Triple H Levesque's Hall of Fame speech, Khan reminded listeners that family is complicated. Stephanie then elaborated, noting that her father's harshest rival has always been himself. No one can erase what he built, not even Vince, she added pointedly. The conversation arrived amid Janelle Grant's ongoing lawsuit against Vince McMahon and World Wrestling Entertainment. Although the corporate line claims Vince is permanently separated from WWE operations, a vocal segment of the fan base remains skeptical. Should his legal battles subside, they argue, Vince might yet rehabilitate his battered public image. He may never again run day-to-day affairs, but he could still reappear in some influential capacity once the dust settles. Stone Cold comeback. Stone Cold Steve Austin roars down the ramp because fresh chatter from WrestleMania 41 weekend suggests the Texas Rattlesnake is quietly telling confidants he might have one more in him. The 60-year-old icon who stunned Kevin Owens into oblivion at WrestleMania 38 after 19 years on the shelf reportedly spent Las Vegas meet and greets hinting at another showdown while laughing off concerns about age or mileage. Observers say Austin looked lean, energized, and mischievous qualities underscored when he rammed his ATV into a ringside barrier, toppling a fan and reminding everyone that controlled chaos is his default setting. Sources add that creative minds immediately began spitballing dream match scenarios, with CM Punk's name topping the internal wish list and several headline stars lobbying for the honor of eating one last stunner. No one has confirmed the state of Austin's surgically rebuilt neck and knees, yet insiders insist he remains in better condition than most wrestlers half his age, thanks to a Spartan training regimen and a stubborn refusal to slow down. If medical clearance arrives, executives are already contemplating how to widen those barricades and how to position a farewell bout that could eclipse every streaming metric on the book. Zelina Vega demands Nia Jax showdown. 7 years after Zelina Vega thought she had outlasted 20 opponents at the first Evolution, only to turn around and be lawn-darted over the ropes by Nia Jax, the fiery Women's United States champion is demanding that unfinished business finally explode into a program. Speaking with Illustrated, Vega revealed that moment has haunted her since 2018 and insists there absolutely has to be something between her and the irresistible force. Surprisingly, the two have shared a ring only 4 times since, each a fleeting Royal Rumble cameo, and never a proper singles feud. Fate may be lining up the confrontation. Next week on SmackDown, Vega defends her championship against Julia. At the same time, Jax battles Tiffany Stratton in a last woman standing clash for the WWE Women's Championship. Should both women emerge with gold, Evolution 2 on July 13th in Atlanta looks like the perfect stage for revenge, redemption, and title chaos. Punk-Rollins FanFest Showdown, CM Punk and Seth Rollins blew the roof off Fanatics Fest in New York when a seemingly harmless entrance competition turned into a furious standoff that security could barely contain. Rollins, fresh off winning the 2025 Money in the Bank contract, was mid-strut down the ramp when Punk vaulted onto the judge's table to hijack the spotlight and remind everyone he is just days away from challenging John Cena for the WWE Championship. Words flew, tempers flared, and within seconds, officials were prying the rivals apart as fans roared for more. The confrontation felt inevitable. Rollins still seethes over Punk's surprise return, while Punk delights in needling the visionary whenever cameras roll. Even John Cena's earlier face-to-face with Rollins could not match the electricity that crackled once Punk entered the scene. With Night of Champions looming and 2 combustible egos unwilling to yield, this unscripted clash may be only a preview of the fireworks still to come. That wraps today's WWE lightning round. Sound off in the comments, and keep it locked right here for the next big shock.